Well, I can tell you, Mary and I are glad to be back in Pigeon Forge, back on our old site at Holly Haven, and back into the warmer temperatures. As you have been following in my previous videos, we are up at the Sugar Beet Harvest up at Grand Forks, North Dakota, Minnesota, and it was cold. Not only cold, it was wet, it was snowy, it was windy, it was pretty much miserable weather, and glad to be back. Now, how did the season work out for us? Well, it had its pluses and it has its minuses. Its pluses are, this is our third year up there. We always meet my son, who's a van dweller. Has been on the road for 3 years, and we meet him up at the beet harvest, and we spend the 5 of the 6 weeks together, and have good food, good conversation, and spend a bit of time together, and that was always enjoyable. And this year my son-in-law and my daughter, who started full-time RVing this year, decided to join us. And as a family unit, it was a lot of fun and well worth the trip. Financially, it didn't work out so well. The weather was just horrific. As you saw from my videos, we had snow, quite a few inches of snow. We had rain to the extent that the rivers flooded. We were evacuated to the Kmart, and in all extent and purposes, with the river being so high, the farmers' fields would not drain. On the opposite side, that the farmers were phenomenal, and so wasn't Crystal Sugar, and so wasn't Express. They did everything they could to make us comfortable, to accommodate when we had to move, generators, giving us work wherever they can possibly squeeze it in. But it's hard to squeeze it in when the farmers cannot get their machines into the fields to harvest the beets. I believe it was pretty close to 3 weeks before we even got our first day in at work. For the total of the 4 weeks, give or take, that we were up at the beet harvest, I believe we only worked 11 days. And out of those 11 days, we never, I don't believe, from my 3 years experience, ever put in a real hard full day. It was trucks here, you wait, more trucks, you wait, more trucks. But the farmers were really desperate to get their beets out of the field, and Crystal Sugar was desperate to pile the beets. I mean, Crystal Sugar anticipated getting 4 million tons of sugar beets to keep their factory going, the sugar processing plant. And even after extending it and accepting frozen beets for over a week, I believe they came in far less than 2 million tons. So the plant does not have enough sugar beets to operate throughout the winter season. So the sugar beet employees are going to be hurting this winter. The farmers are going to be striving for making their payments and their bills. The larger ones just rolled their sugar beets back into the field for fertilizer for next year. The smaller fields worked very hard to get the beets out and into the processing plant, but it was just a struggle all the way around. So for those who have worked the beet harvest before and sat this year out, you probably made a wise decision. For me, it was a plus because I use this as a chance to see places traveling across the country. As you saw from my videos, we stopped at Omaha, went to the zoo. On the way back, you'll see a video in the next couple days about spending several days at Nashville at the Ryman Theater, which was a lot of fun. So that with the family, it made it worthwhile. Financially, it probably did not, as it's 1,400 miles up, 1,400 miles back. Do the math with the gasoline, and it probably was not that profitable. But family-wise, it was a plus. Profitability, not so. So that's where we stand. My son did stay up there an extra 6 working days after we did. We decided at the end of October to get out of North Dakota. Huge snowstorms were heading our way, and it was just time to leave. He stayed an extra 6 days, which gave him, which made a difference for him, but alas, we weren't there for it. So when you do these type gigs, sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. This one didn't work out so well, but we're still not sorry that we accomplished the beet harvest, and look forward to attempting it again next year. This is used for Outdoorstaycations. Give us a thumbs up, ring a bell, That was our final on the beet harvest, and money-wise, I believe we took in barely over $2,500 for our 5-week adventure, but it did pay for the gas, and we did have a lot of fun. And again, ring the bell. Look forward to another video coming out in a few days on our 4-day stopover at Nashville in the Ryman Theater. And this is Hughes for Outdoorstaycations. Safe journeys.
We're in Pigeon Forge for the next couple of months. We have a lot of videos in process. We have an interview with Steve and Jill Turtle. We have our Nashville adventure. We have a couple of things going on Pigeon Forge. So please subscribe, and we want to thank you for watching our videos. Make great memories wherever the road may take you. Bye-bye, everybody.